welcome to a video. This is a different one. Grab yourself a drink. You're here probably because of the title, so hopefully it's what you're expecting. I thought I would sit in my bathroom because change of scenery. Excuse my hair, I just can't be bothered with it today. It's all right, Willow, you can still get out there. He's like, the door's half closed, half open. He's like, how am I going to go? You're fine. So basically today, I wanted to talk about something. Power off, power, getting too connected. That's just Sir doing his headset thing, I guess. He's doing some paperwork, poor thing. Not really fair. This is our life because of my syndrome. But basically, I thought I'd give a talk because I have followed off and on, not solidly. Sorry for being restless. I'm not feeling well, and I get a bit restless when I'm not feeling well. Off and on, I've been following. What's the name? Ginger, that's it. Ginger Duggar. And I'm going to buy her book for sure now. I was going to before and forgot about it. Kind of moved house, things kind of happened, things went crazy. Kind of got caught up a little bit there, just moving house and stuff. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. It was a big deal, right? You all know it. You were all there. Willow, what are you doing, son? Okay, that's not how you get under a sheet. Anyway, that's how you right. Bunny hole. Get in there. Right, he's under the blankets. It's winter in Australia, but it's not that cold. He's being like ridiculous. He's a ragdoll. Anyway, back to Ginger Duggar. So I'm going to read a book. I'm going to buy a book. Because I've always had religion as a strong part of my life. And I thought that I had it in a healthy way now. And I've, grown up, and, when you grow up, you kind of keep what you want to keep from your parents' values or your grandparents' values, and you get rid of what you don't maybe agree with or align with anymore. And you adopt your own, right? And then your children then get a different view of you, and so on and so forth. Everyone has a different view of each generation. So it's just, and religion is a generational thing. And in my parents' generation, both went to religious schools, so that plays a big part. And then the parents obviously have those values, that plays a big part. But it's mainly my one side, which is my mother's side, who immigrated. They immigrated from England, Scotland to South Africa and then to here. But, that's a common little loopy-loop, and there's a lot from Europe connections there. It's a common thing. Anyway, so I just wanted to share my experience about how only at 50 am I realizing how significant, because you millennials, you have choice. And I'm not saying this to put you down or to be negative. I'm saying it in a way of, I'm glad, absolutely 110% happy that it worked out that way for you guys. But I want to explain my generation, the X generation, or any other generation before that, or any generation, even if you're a millennial and you were affected by religion. I want to talk about that because it might relate to you, even if you're younger than me. But I was raised on religion. God's watching. God will punish. That's my mentality. My mum went to Catholic boarding school. So, Um, the rules in the household were Catholic orientated. Like, I mean, I had those dorky nighties with the buttons and it comes up to there and it goes right down to your ankles. You can't do anything in it. Nothing. Nothing at all. And I was a tomboy, so I couldn't really do much. I used to work, and this isn't even a religious thing, this is an era thing, where I worked with my first job when I was 16, turning 17, pulled out of school because this is a religious bit. You're going to get married and have kids, that's what your job is. Decided. It was decided when I was 16. I didn't get the choice to plan, what do I want to be? No. My mother got me my job, a checkout chick, for a couple of years. Look, it got me by just working and focusing on my dancing. That was great, but it wasn't a career, right? As you can imagine, it's a temporary thing, that kind of job. It's great for temporary retail, unless you're in something, I don't know, super cool retail that you actually like, or if you do like retail, or you need it to get by, because there's times in life we need to get by. But anyway, at this particular place where I worked, this is my era, it was freezing up the front end where I worked, and we were not allowed to wear pants. Like, I'm talking pants, okay? We were not allowed to wear it. We had to wear dresses. And we were freezing. And the tights were only allowed to be certain tights, which was only so thick. That was my era. I'm 50. As of this year, I was 50. Think about that for a minute if you're younger than me. Don't look at people like us and think, but you didn't grow up in those days. Well, no, but a little bit of things there. It was a very sexist era. And I was in it in my young years. And let's get back to the religion though. I thought I had a grip on it. I thought that I'd undone anything that was not okay. And adopted my own healthy values about what is okay. But I didn't. When I really look at it honestly and listening to gender and relating to too much of it for my liking, I really realized how much fear was instilled in me by grandparents, my parent, about certain things, what you wore, what you're good for, as in getting married and having kids. That's it. That's your job. Cook, clean, be home with the children. No, you can't be at work and have children. You got to be home with the children. I'll never forget telling my nana, who I thought would be proud because, you know, she didn't get many rights because of her era. She'd be in her 90s now. And when I got accepted into university, I was so excited, and I said, you know, oh, I can't wait to get there and get started, get my degree started. And I remember her squeezing my hand and saying, you've got two small children, you need to be home. And she just looked at me as if, like, no, you don't have a choice. And if you do make that choice to do what you're doing, that I'd lose her respect. And I loved my grandmother with all my heart, soul, still do. But that's, and then later on I've been blamed for not being enough in the career field, which the only reason why I didn't achieve as much as a normal person would achieve is because I have a chromosonal disorder syndrome, basically. As you guys know, I'm very, very sick. So, you know, yes, when my kids grew up, I would have absolutely I would be working right now, and feeling quite free, because I went from looking after my cousins to looking after my sister, and it's not her fault. She was just a kid, but I looked after my sister and then my children, and then sometimes my sister with my children. So, yeah. And then around that, I'm trying to be like everybody else and even better than my friends, in the sense of doing tertiary studies, because I wanted to be something. Obviously, subconsciously, this is all going on, and I'm thinking, why is this all so hard? Why am I such a sook? But I was doing 2 full-time jobs. In fact, kind of an extra job. I was cleaning houses, I was studying, I was like working, because I had to work for certain hours to do with my studies at the beginning. I was studying, I was raising 2 children, and the whole time I'm blaming myself while my friends are just living it up, literally living it up with no guilt put on them by parents, grandparents, no one. They got to focus on themselves only. Then they had kids. That wasn't even a thought. And it's not that I regret my kids at all. It's just, wasn't given a choice. At my wedding, it's the first thing my mother said, lots of kids. And once again, it can be laughed off as a statement, but it's not. Because of my teachings as a child, I knew it wasn't a statement. It was, that's your job. And I'm not saying having kids is a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, it should be your choice. But I didn't realize the brainwashing. I didn't realize the peer pressure of my family to be a housewife, a mother, get married, do this, do that, before I had a chance to work out, who am I? What do I want in this amazing world? Like my friends, they were all doing that. So that wasn't an era thing. They were doing that, and they couldn't understand me. And I couldn't explain it to them. I'm autistic, for starters. How was I going to explain to them that here I am only realizing it now, that I've been brainwashed by full-on religion, that women should serve men and their children, and that's their whole main purpose. I know it seems silly to have that realization at 50, and I'm sure there's been moments of feelings and thoughts on this, but not this strong. Not hearing the teachings in the theoretical way, and now realizing they were used on me. So that's why with my children it was freedom. Free range chickens. They got to choose what they wanted. And I'm sure that they'll probably have issues with many things, because every child's going to, but they had freedom. They didn't have to get married. They didn't have to have kids. They didn't have to study. They didn't have to leave school when I told them. They could change career 3 times before leaving home. I didn't care. You could live home until 30 because you couldn't get your life sorted. I didn't care. I just didn't care. I was there to support them, no matter what. And so they don't get me now, because I had the choice. I didn't. And that's not their fault. It's not my fault either. But don't be fooled that someone is, and I know to you young and you think it's stupid, as young as 50, but as young as 50 to be so, you know, strict of a religion to be put on me, to the point where it made decisions for me when I didn't even get a chance to realize that those decisions weren't made by me. They were put in here. They were put in here from a little girl. Oh, look after your cousins. You're the girl. Look after your cousin. Look after your cousins. Look after your sister. And of course, you're happy to because they're your family. You want to help, right? I was the type of child who wanted to be helpful. I didn't realize it was part of the brainwashing of there's babies, they're toddlers. You need to learn how to work with them because you know what? This is what you're made for. That message was way stronger than I ever gave it credit for. And I can't blame other people for my life choices. Of course not. But at the same time, the influence was real. 110% real. And yes, it did affect my life. And some of you would say, yes, it has damaged your life. And I would agree. Because I don't think not being given the freedom and the choice, that makes it so much harder to really work out now, even at 50. Who the fuck am I? Now I know who I am in most parts, you know what I mean. But who am I? Did I go into work that was serving through social welfare and psychology because of this? Because I feel like all I'm good for is caring and nurturing others? Or am I really following what I am? Who am I? I don't know. And religion did that to me. And I'm not saying that all religion is bad, or being religious is bad, of any kind of religion that you wanted to choose because you believe in that. That is not bad. I feel I still believe, but I don't believe in the way the majority who are operating in organized religion. I don't go there for obvious reasons, which is obviously subconscious. But think about it. Just check in your life, especially certain generations or just certain families. You don't even have to be my age. Like, you could have been younger and this could have happened to you. Don't know. But Ginger's way younger than me. I know it's an unusual family circumstances. I get it. It's not common. However, there's a lot, and that's enough. And I think with women, we have a long way to go. And it's a shame I didn't have a daughter just for my own learning, because I wonder if she would have taught me how to be more free, to make my own decisions instead of just taking the role of nurturer, taking the role of being the helper, taking the role of being whatever the woman's role is. I don't know. Because I didn't have a daughter, so I'll never know, but I'm just saying. I don't know. But you know what? I'll certainly be taking religion a little bit more in the way that it's intended. And it's just pure love, and it's not about control. So if you've experienced anything like this too, and you can relate to anything like this, it shouldn't be about control. Because if it is, just like anything else in life, that's not okay. We all deserve freedom as humans in job choices, marriage, no marriage, children, no children. We just have choice. But by no means am I saying that my belief in God is different, as in stopped. It just means that I can see religion ruining my family. But the saddest thing is, if I look at where it comes from as far as I can see back, which is my grandparents on one side, came from love. That's the saddest thing. That it can go wrong, you know. With the best of intentions, it can still go. But I wanted to make this video because I wanted you to know that this is a thing. And you might not think that you are dealing with people that have the same real. And if you listen to a lot of things that Ginger says, even just the way you dress, the way this, the way you do that, the caring for the other children in the family, it is such a big deal. Just picture it from a young person's perspective. It's a lot to take on, and it's brainwashing, of course. Being controlled in how you dress, judged how you look, judged on how you carry yourself as a woman, female, girl, the roles you're supposed to take on, not supposed to take on, etc. It can be really problematic. So anyway, if you guys have had any this kind of stuff and relate, feel free to comment below. Feel free to ask questions. But my advice to anyone who is under religion, it should always feel good, not bad. It should always feel freeing, not controlling. That's all I have for you. And it's a choice to believe or not. It's a choice to take on what roles you take on. I wish I had that. I wish I had more choice. And I wish I was raised with more options planted. But it is what it is. So thanks to Ginger Jugger for really bringing her story to help others. And I'm going to be reading the book because of it, to see what I need to heal, because yeah, it's some of these things they're not healthy. They're not healthy. God is a loving thing, not a hating thing, not a punishing thing. So you make your choices, please.